I had that intro a little too loud, and I've got, look at all this stuff happening here. It's technical problems again. There we go. We're on track. By myself today. Tyler's not here today. We can get into the reasons why, but we just won't. We won't. I want to introduce my guest right away here. Let's get into this. So today we've got a little Mark Square thing happening going on here. Mark with a K though, so I can be the C, you can be the K. How are you today, Mark?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. It's been nice out. It's been busy. How are things, Mark?
I mean, nice out is being generous. It's been stinking hot.
Yeah,
it's been unbearable.
Are you a fan? Are you a fan, or like not so much?
No, I can't handle this. I'm not built for this at all. No.
What's your like your ideal temperature?
I like what I moved to BC for. So I grew up in Montreal, and we had stinking hot summers, freezing cold winters.
Yeah.
And then I came to BC in 2007.
Yeah.
And just this mild climate throughout was what sold me on the place. So
yeah.
I overpaid for my house like everybody else, and then the temperature changed on me.
Why did they do that on you? Why did they do that to you?
Really
so mean. So, Mark, you're with Itero. We've had some, we've had some chats, long chats about technology and stuff, and with James, our buddy James Nuver over at Ocean Ceramics, really getting into the digital game of things. And one thing that constantly comes up is, the investment of equipment in your office. And, James's look at it as, that doesn't change the fact that it's going to be easy. Like there's things to learn and new workflows, and in terms of a intraoral scanner, it's not going to perfect that impression. There's definitely a technique involved in everything. So this is the world that you live, breathe, sleep, cry, probably a little bit. And I really I want to pick your brain today about the spectrum of products. And I think, you could really take this, the Itero lineup of products and kind of put it out there to other various tools that you can use in your practice. Now, I want to get into what the ROI on a basic level scanner would get versus the top of the run, cutting edge technology would get you. There's a bit of an extra investment in dollars, but if we can kind of step aside from looking at that sticker shock and really get into what this tool is going to do for your practice, ultimately that's the argument, right? That I bet you face every single day.
Absolutely. Yeah. Right. I mean, there's so much to unpack here in the first minute of speaking, but you talked about digital and how, it's that next step and how easy it is to plug and play and move about your day. It's not that easy, right?
No.
Digital is easy. Ultimately in your life, that iPhone has changed my life.
Yeah. When
it was first introduced, it turned my world upside down, right? It's a disruptor in what as the norm. Mm-hmm. So, one thing right off the bat that I've always been very successful with is, of course, that support unit, right? It's so important with digital. Mm-hmm. No scanner, no matter how expensive, cheap, or how good the Google reviews are, is going to be plug, play. You're a whiz with not only the scanning, but how to integrate into your practice. It doesn't work that way. No,
for sure. And again, if you're looking at for doctors out there that are getting into the iOS scape and they haven't got one yet, what? Where have you been? What rock are you living under?
There's a few out there still.
But really, truly, it really is, a huge component to factor in is the whole support behind it all. Yeah. And why that's important is you've invested in this piece of technology. You want to use it to its full potential, what it was built to do in the practice. Is that a kind of a correct assessment?
Yep.
Yeah. So let's start from the like the floor. So, there are some docs out there that they're just scratching the surface. They just want to scan, right? They want to digitize their impressions. Let's start there. Like what is a doctor going to get with just the basic door entry level piece of equipment?
Yeah. If your goal is to replace impression material now, it's not complicated to do. If there was a scanner that came out there and said like, oh, ours is very accurate, or ours is going to be that much better at replacing your PVS, it's kind of a ridiculous argument at this point. Every scanner will get a crown to fit. It's not a huge feat in today's world. And when we even talk about accuracy, mine's 2 to 3 microns, mine's 5 to 7 microns, mine's 9 to 11 microns. Who cares? It's extremely accurate and precise. The statistics are there. The studies are there. We see a reduction in remakes coming from the lab side. That, right? So, we're really splitting hairs, literally splitting hairs. A hair is, anywhere from 10 to 50 microns. So we're splitting hairs here at this point compared to PVS, right? So if the goal is just to replace PVS, that base model will do it. You'll do all your crown and bridge and implants and inlays and onlays and partials and dentures and Invisalign, all of that, night guards, right? But if you're looking to have more of a investment versus an expense, now we're talking a different story.
So like, how do you let's get into that. Like, how do you bridge that then? Like when you're presenting a scanner with somebody that's just kind of like getting their boots wet, are you kind of going through the whole family of products?
No, I'm not going through the whole family. Typically, I talk most about the most advanced and the least advanced. You got to think, you already said the comment, Mark. It's where we are right now is, how do you not have a scanner yet? Every single practice is moving towards scanners, but we're way past the early adopter stage, right? So all the advanced scanners have been bought. They're already in use and they're using it, integrating into the practice in ways you couldn't even begin to imagine, right? It's taken it to that next level. If you're just looking at a scanner now for the first time, I'm absolutely willing to talk to you about the most advanced scanner out there, but you might need something a little more simple to get your toes in the water a little bit, because you realize this, you're late to the game.
So let's start here. So I'm a dentist that's just getting in there. Like what wise words would you give me when I'm getting in, like just scratching the surface?
Like anything else, it's just about your own personal goals, right? Yeah, sure, it's going to have an impact whether you're fresh out of school and coming out with a big, huge debt, or you've been, quite successful in your career and you have a bit of a bank account. Obviously, that's going to play an impact. But either way, you can come straight out of school and have the biggest ambitions. I'm going to go out right off the gate and I'm going to buy a 20-op practice, and I want it to be the most gorgeous, high-tech thing ever. Or I've been doing a long time. I have all the money in the bank, but things are good the way they are. My drill and fill is working well for me. Why change anything? Right?
I guess it's truly about the the practice and the individual and what they're looking to accomplish. So let's walk up the stairs here. So what does the next level of scanner get from the bottom? Like what, in terms of ROI, like what is that piece of technology doing that the basic one can't?
Yeah. So the basic one will, as I said, do all your crown, bridge, all your restorative stuff. It'll submit your Invisalign cases, and it'll start the conversation with the patient. There's this thing called a bite map, right, which most scanner systems have some form of seeing where the contact points are on the teeth. That's a good starting point. And just having that 3D model on the screen, you could turn it around, interactive 3D, monochrome color, whatever it is, to start pointing some things out. There's only so much you could do with one angle of an intraoral photo with trying to hold a mirror in their mouth and they're holding a mirror and you're trying to talk and point things out. You're doing hand gestures about, this is your mouth and we'd like to see it like this. There's only so much that can happen. So just having that 3D model on the screen, having that bite map is a starter conversation for sure. So the simple model will do that.
Gotcha.
Okay. As you start moving up, and I think you showed the slide there.
Yep, I had it up here. Yep.
Yeah, we got a whole bunch of them. I'm not going to walk through every single one of them or anything, but we do have this whole family now that really is whatever suits your needs. So, you move over to the second, the Element 2. This one's been around for a long time. This is a workhorse. It's done great for us. It's a good scanner. It will roll around the op really nicely. It's got that big screen on it that is meant to be patient-facing, right? Which is where iTero really excels versus any other system out there. Putting aside the accuracy minor differences or the, size of the wand or the speed or whatever, the screen is intended to be not only for the clinician. It is not a tool just for you. It is, I'm going to take your scan, I'm going to turn around and face it to you, and I'm going to tell your whole life story on the screen.
Yeah, we were, I was just last week, I was in Dr. Benita Mann's practice. Mm-hmm. She has a beautiful new practice out in North Delta, and she's just purchased a scanner from you for sure. And it's part of her workflow. It's part of taking the patient along the journey. So,
yeah, I can tell you, I got a call last summer. Made me laugh. iTero broke down. It happens. We try to support you as best as we can. It was done. It needed a replacement part. It was going to be 24 hours. Best we could do. Okay. Doctor's on the phone with me. He's like, well, I got like 6 consults lined up. I'm going to cancel them and go golfing. See you later. He will not do a consult without the iTero anymore.
Right. Yeah.
Because he knows he'll have to redo it and have the conversation, because the patient's going to stand there and like nod nicely, like, and everything's go right over their head.
Just like you're saying, like there's only so far you can get with this, like the hand gesture type situation, right? Like,
exactly. So it changes your practice completely.
Yeah. And like, what's the software? Is it the ClinCheck or whatever that you can see the progressional? Like when we're now talking about orthodontics and Invisalign and that, you can, when you're presenting to the patient, you could sort of give them a close to realistic view of what things are like, what they're going to be.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a bunch of different software that progresses as you move along the machines. But you mentioned ClinCheck there. That's another thing to take a look at. We mentioned the support already, but I will just say it bluntly. Align is an incredible company. Like, I am floored by them every day, week, month. The stuff that they come out with, the money they invest in the business is absolutely insane, right? Mm-hmm. I came from the implant world, right? Worked with a leading implant company, but still it was me, right? If there's a billing issue, it's me. If there's a shipping issue, it's me. Something's broken, it's me. You want education, it's me. You want to plan a trade show, it's me. Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah, prompt a lab, it's me.
You wear a lot of hats. Yeah.
Yeah. At Align, we hire so many people for every role. We make up roles as we go because it's decided, hey, we need this to support that customer.
Yeah.
Right.
And I mean, there's an argument to be had that, you might see a piece of equipment that costs X amount of dollars more, but that's what you're paying for. You're paying for that support. You're paying for that 24-hour turnaround. Because I'll be honest, like I've been in that game. You got a piece of equipment and, you're trying to get support for that. And, it's not 24 hours.
No. I know. I always find that funny, right? Oh, your scanner's $50,000. I bet this thing costs $500 to make. Yeah, it probably does.
Yeah.
But you also want constant innovation in R&D. You want 20-year papers and studies on these things. You want a sales force ready at your beck and call. You want tech support to answer within 10 seconds of calling. Mm-hmm. That stuff costs money.
It's a huge pool of thought that's gone into it, an investment of time, people, all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
How do you feel about, obviously you're going to be biased here, but how do you feel about these other scanner companies just kind of, parking the box, and it's usually like the offer is by the seller in terms of what that support's going to be. But what are your thoughts there? Like what are people missing out on there?
So you know what? Sure, I'm a little bit biased, but I do have an open mind to it. It's positive and negative. I'm actually quite happy they came along because it applies some pressure to the Aligns, DentalBytes, 3Shapes of the world, to maybe adjust their pricing, to adjust their offering, to adjust their support, to come to the market aggressive and ready to play. Right. So I know that we've just come out with that more cost-effective model, that laptop model, since Medit and Trios and everything started going and cutting pricing a little bit. Hey, that's great. You've made us sharpen our pencil, and now there's less barriers to entry for those late adopters who are looking to get into scanning.
Yeah,
right?
no, it's a good outlook. Yeah, like competition forces you to sort of be at your own best. It's
exactly
the way to look at it. So,
on the negative though, I do got to say that it bothers me that when I see promise of the moon and stars by any sales rep in any industry,
sure,
and then a product gets dropped off at a door by UPS, and it's kind of like, good luck, see ya.
Oh, it's in your contract, right? You signed this contract.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
These are happening.
I've seen it. Yeah. I mean, I think everybody does have the best intentions, obviously. But salespeople, earn a living by selling. So it's tough. I feel for the clinicians out there with everybody knocking on their door saying that their solution is the best.
Yeah.
It's tough. I understand the skepticism out there, right? It's tough.
So again, to pump kind of Itero's tires, but I really do genuinely see this is, here I am, Mark from Itero. That's where I'm from. I'm the manufacturer's rep. I go straight to the product. You have a straight line from the product to you. Yeah. Right. Whereas, Henry Schein, Patterson, St. Clair, great companies, great reps, great knowledge, great training, great everything. If they have a problem that goes beyond them and have to contact 3Shape or Med or anything, it's no knock on them. Good luck getting them to answer the phone. Yeah.
Yeah. And the easiest, the direct path to something is straight, right? So the more you have to click through things or call from one person to the other, it's that person, the go in between person. You're right. There's no fault on them, but it kind of like it's the company's shield almost that, that rep and like sales, the manufacturer, the supplies sales reps out there, I think have the absolute toughest job out there, being in between it all. 100%. Just getting beat up. I like Mark, I'm sure you get beat up sometimes, but like at least you have some control, right?
Yeah.
So let's go to the finish line here. So what is it that the a clinician will get when they invest like top of the line? Like let's go through the entire argument of ROI. What pieces are they getting that are included that would otherwise not be included with all the other offerings?
So what they get with the most advanced, which is called the 5D Plus, is just what Itero has built its business on. It's patient communication and treatment acceptance, right? That's the key. When you talk to a doctor and they'll say, what do you do in your day? What's your day majority? What's your focus? They'll often talk about crown and bridge. Well, they're not cutting crowns all day long, but they are talking with patients all day long, and them and their team, right? Sure, you have 2 crowns that day, but you also had 8 people sit in your hygiene chair. You have 2 or 3 hygiene chairs. You have new patient exams. You have consults. You have everything. So education is everything. The newest scanner there, it's an unbelievable tool in terms of communication as well as just efficiencies in the practice, because when it comes down to it, chair time is everything, right?
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely everything. So, with the 5D Plus, you take a single scan, you're getting the scan, you're getting caries detection, and you're getting intraoral photos. Intraoral photos is not like click one and it's done. It's every 1/8 of a second while you're scanning, it takes a photo.
Wow.
So now your team doesn't need to pull out that intraoral camera. They don't need to take photos to submit to Invisalign. They don't need photos to submit to insurance, to the lab, whatever it is.
So it's efficiency that they're buying.
Efficiency is huge. Caries detection. I get a lot of doctors that are kind of like, I don't need that. You don't. I agree. You don't need it. But if I'm at PDC and I put up a slide of a bite wing and I say, tell me what you see, I will get 250 different answers.
Right.
That's a caries lesion. That's not a caries lesion. That's incipient. That's ready to treat, whatever it is. It's just a tool to help you, and it is clear as day to show you that caries lesion. And then with that, what I love about it is patients, again, have no idea what dentistry is.
They don't.
You could ask any clinician, have you ever shown someone a bite wing and pointed things and they're like, They have no idea what they're talking about. You can see the glazed over look in their eye.
Yeah.
With the caries detection, it just helps. It's like neon white, like this is a problem.
It puts a bullseye in it, sure.
Yeah. And then beyond that, we just have like all the tools to simulate what that final restoration design ortho is going to look like, including in-face. So you can take a picture using the Invisalign app, take one picture of a patient, big, wide, goofy smile, as big as you can get, and then I can simulate their ortho treatment and their restorative treatment within a few minutes, right? So now you're having, what I like about that, I joke with my kids, Daddy is a salesman. Daddy is not saving the world, right? I'm not
what do you mean, Mark?
Scientists in the cure for cancer. I am not out there marching on human rights. I'm a salesman, right? Yeah. But what I do like is that I truly feel that the iTero does improve the standard of care in dentistry because you're getting people to understand what you're looking at, right? And you're starting at the end. You're going for the full comprehensive dentistry instead of going with reactionary, right? Mm-hmm. In this day and age, we can't be a practice where it's like, ooh, my tooth hurts, I'm going to go to a dentist. Yeah. No, I've been going to a dentist every 6 months for the last 20 years, and I've seen that you have malocclusion. I've seen that you have, poor hygiene habits. I've seen this, that, and the other. We need to educate these patients. Mm-hmm. And when we talk about treatment acceptance with that, a lot of reps actually get mad at a lot of doctors get mad at reps when they talk about treatment acceptance because they're like, this isn't about the money. I'm not trying to sell my patients. We don't want to be a salesy office. This is about care.
Well, here's like, so us as like, so Dentist on Demand is a growth platform, like get over it. If you're getting case acceptance, you're just helping more people. You got into dentistry to do dentistry. Sure, it's great to be conservative and not go over the top and push procedures and things on people that don't need that treatment. But if you're detecting something that inadvertently stops something from being that much worse in the future, you're doing a service to your patient, right? So it's a business. And we were just on a call with our last show was just with Gordon Shee and Sunny Verdi. And the business part of dentistry, like in school in Canada, they get a half an hour on it. So it's all about like being in the mouth and doing, medical treatment to people. But you should be doing your patients a service if you're guiding them through. Maybe, if we're talking about like airway and all that stuff, you're adding years to people's lives, right? Absolutely. And you're saving them long term. If it's like a simple carie that needs to be, something done with it,
yep.
That's great.
Yep.
Why not make your life easier?
I've been in dental for 11 years.
Yeah.
I've yet to meet a dentist or have a conversation with a dentist where he's like, I just did 10 crowns on that guy and he didn't need anything, but I have bills to pay. Like, it doesn't happen.
No.
If you see something, you prescribe a treatment. If you don't have the proper tools to get them to say yes to treatment, not selling, educating, then shame on you. You have to convince them because otherwise they're going to continue hurting themselves.
Well, yeah, like us putting our sales hats aside, and that's kind of what it's all about. Like, obviously, we make our living on you more than me make our living on selling these pieces of technology. But that's, you're yes, obviously wheeling that piece of equipment in there, but what you're wheeling in more is just sort of the ability to do more stuff.
Yep. Yep.
So
absolutely. And we're just talking about the scanner right now, right?
Yeah.
Digital, digital. You're very into the technology stuff, even more so than me. I kind of think about it as a PVS impression is like taking out a pen and paper and writing a message, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Digital is opening up a Word document and writing it out. With digital, I can then take that sentence, I can change it over here, I can delete it, I can highlight it, I can change the art to it, I can put it in a PowerPoint presentation, I could put it on my website, I can send it out on social media, I can do so much with it.
Yeah.
Scanning, if you haven't got a scanner yet, because you're like, my PBS impressions are pretty good, but there's so much more that's coming out now, right?
They are good, I'm sure.
Design, it's Smile design software, it's getting a chairside printer, chairside mill, it's marrying it to CBCT for guided surgery. It's so much more. It's
it's so rad. Like I've been witness to this exact thing where a scan has come in immediately and the laboratory is looking at the scan on the phone and talking about the prep and saying, you need to zip off here, here, and here. Yep. And then we're good. Like, you can't do that. Like, in terms of a communication tool, you're once you master the skill and the scan patterns and all that, it's putting you in a better place and the patient in a better place. Yeah.
And I don't know about you, Mark. I know you got a young family. Everyone is busy these days.
Yeah.
If I can knock off an extra appointment because I'm able to scan quickly, diagnose, show you the issue, and then show you that outcome, whatever it is, restorative or ortho, and say, this is what you're going to look like, you want to move forward. You just knocked off 2-3 appointments for me. That's me not taking time off work, moving around my kid's schedule, trying to balance between baseball and soccer practice.
Well, it's not only doing that, Mark, like it's the time thing too, but I also see it as like making informed decisions. Mm-hmm. If I'm going to be investing in, not everybody has benefits to cover, right? Yep. So if you're shown black and white examples of, you're being taken along that journey in a way that is understandable, and it makes you more confident in taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
That's what I think it delivers for a patient.
I agree completely. Yep.
Cool. Anything else to add? Anything super exciting with the line, and what's cool, what's new, what are you pumped up about, like the next 3 years, 5 years? What's going on?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, I don't know how much you've seen about Smile Architect, but I'll definitely plug this for a second. And it's nice because here I am, a salesman. I'm not selling you anything. It's Smile Architect. I don't know exactly the dollar amount, but I believe it was about $500 million that Align paid for ExoCAD, probably the second biggest CAD/CAM design company in the world. Mm-hmm. We did this about 3 years ago. Granted, it was during COVID and all that, but coming from the implant world and everything and just general dentistry that I know, I was excited for this. I'm like, okay, no more, you're the plastic company, the clear aligner company, right? We're going to get more and more into restorative. It's been about 3 years and crickets. Like, we haven't heard a word from our company about what they're doing about this, right? Finally, like days before PDC, which was perfect for me, they announced Smile Architect. So now you take a scan, you take one photo. We need that facial photo. It has to be on the Invisalign app. A little catch there, but it has to be on the app. And then when you have your ClinCheck, you just automatically have full facial design software on there. It's a free service, and you can do ortho only or ortho and restorative. So kind of what this looks like. I don't know if you're familiar, Mark, with Christian Coachman, Digital Smile Design.
No.
Okay, he's out of Spain, kind of the grandfather of all this face design stuff. That's a better software for sure. There's some features to it that are mind-blowing, but it costs, I think, $3,500 American to get kind of certified. I believe there's a monthly fee. It's about $1,000 per case to have to do the work, and you have to use certain labs, and there's all these rules and everything.
Yeah, it's a closed system.
Yeah, Align paid all this money for this, and it is a free software. It's already in your ClinCheck software. Just use it. It's there.
So it's a simple update and it's on the software.
Yeah, you're not even going and seeking out any updates. It's there already.
Oh, that's amazing.
So
Very cool.
to kind of quickly summarize, it's full control. It's not this cheesy little like, oh, let's just take this like typodont mouth and put it in there. It's like, that could be you.
Yeah.
No. It's tooth by tooth. I want rounded edges, straight edges.
Yeah.
I can now click it, change the size, the scale, whatever, change the opacity, see how it works with the lip line. You have the facial lines. You even have tooth mass analysis of, hey, you want to do some veneers? We need to reduce this much because you have this big deep bite. If we do ortho first, we then need to reduce this much. Now we can have that comprehensive conversation before we administer any anesthetic, before we do this first attachment. They know start to finish what they're going to look like.
Wow, so cool. So like this is all 3D then too?
So the face, it doesn't spin around.
Gotcha. Okay.
The image
like,
is 2D. The design is 3D. The mouth, you can have the mouth on side and spin it around to design the teeth. Once you put in the face, that's 2D.
Oh, okay. There's a lot of there's a few companies out there that are like they've tried to put out that software. There's a preview, a few of them. I think it's a really great case acceptance tool, like giving sort of that snapshot of like what can be. I know Bellis 3D really they've since are gone now. It's just unfortunate they did the whole 3D version of that. I remember using that software to do those 3D masks, so like during COVID or whatnot. Super cool. That, if that sells X amount more cases, or if it's not about selling, sorry. If that helps you take that patient along the journey that much easier and make them understand what a possible outcome is like, we want to make sure that like we're not over promising, this is going to be an exact, right? But
not to mention just elevating your practice. I mean, you could have a tiny little 2-op practice, and now you could do this advanced smile design software and show
super boutique-y, exactly. Yeah.
Right?
And you know what? Like the people that are implementing these tools in their practice are killing it. So. And I know the people that aren't are still taking care of people, but this is the game we play in, right? We're taking care of people, and don't look at us too as salespeople. Like obviously, we depend on moving these pieces of technology through the warehouse and then into the practice and signing these deals or whatnot. But Mark, you're somebody that I see like truly believes in the product. You love the company that you work for, and through you, I see that, there's genuine intention there, I think, to do the right thing, to advance the industry, to do the right thing for the patient. And you're always excited. It's great. I love chatting with you. You're very good at what you do. I understand why you're widely sought out for your services. So
I am passionate about it. You gotta, sure, I can go out there and sell whatever I gotta sell, but hey, careers are long. You have to have some intrinsic reward of thinking you're making a difference, you're helping out, you're doing something of some value, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I'm tooting your horn here, but I think that's what your mantra is good. I think your heart is in the right place.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Anything more to add here before we close things up?
No.
No more plugs. Come on. You got some more plugs. Come on. There's something going on.
No. Really, I mean, if you're ever interested in learning a little bit more, having me come into the office, reach out to me. Mark, I don't know if you want to throw up my contact or if you're going to add that.
Well, I'll have it all added in the description.
Perfect. And I just really, as you just said, I do believe that I'm that kind of person where I'm trying to do the right thing. So if you have interest about it, don't think I'm going to come in and I'm going to sit there staring at you until you buy a scanner. I'm not leaving. It's education.
Oh, I know.
If I come in and show your whole team the scanner and I leave and they're all like, that was a great presentation. I learned a lot.
Oh man, you know what? I'll leave with this story. Like just going into a practice and you have that receptionist just like, just leave your card. That's great. You got a flyer? Yeah. Just put it on the table. Thank you. You got a card? Like, give everybody a chance because like people are here to provide value. So, listen, I guess. I don't know. A lot of people out there are listening, but anyways, that's my...
No, but I get it. I mean, hey, they got to protect their doctors from taking all day long, right? Because it's not just the scanner salesman, the implant salesman is there, and the composite salesman, and the paper supply salesman, and the phone distance, long distance.
Maybe they're doing that because they it stresses them out, because then the dentist is out and just very talkative and wastes a lot of time. Who knows?
Yeah,
right?
Exactly, right? This is worth your time. Getting into digital technology and scanning. It's an inevitable part of the future, so get into it.
Well, it's now, right? So invest in the right tool, and then make sure that you're with the right team that will make sure that you're using that tool to its full potential, what it was made to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Thanks for your time, Mark. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on. I think this is awesome. This Dentist on Demand is the greatest idea, and I love that you're doing this. So thanks for having me.
I like to think so. Anyways.
Yeah, it's an honor to be here. Thanks.
All right, Mark. Take care.
All right, take care.